Mr. 2020 and the golden one dropping wrestling talk. Wrestling adventure storytelling, no fake news here. Yo,
We've got an eye on you guys. What's up? Welcome back. 2026, wide open. It's like I think it's like the 8th day of the year. We're a little slow getting into the new year here on the podcast, but we're back live and rolling. And like I said, we've got the eye on you.
I hate that.
The eye's back in full effect, my man.
I wish Julia would just throw it away or take it back to work.
Hey, look, it's a good stress reliever, too, when you get mad or got an upsetting day or whatever's going on in your life.
So what'd she do? Did she bring it back from work?
Actually, I overlooked it on the desk, apparently. It was behind something. And she said, here it is. And I'm like, what? I said, I was looking for it last time because I missed it.
Well, make sure you thank her for me.
And it's courtesy of Tampa Bay Veterinary Specialists in Emergency Care. It says it right here on the eye on the other side. So there you go. That's when Julia was, we moved back to the area first. She went back into the veterinarian practice. But she, since then, went back into the medical world with a better opportunity. So that's where she's at now. So, Mike, we've talked very little, actually, in the last 2 weeks, personally off of here. And that's unusual. But I know a lot's been going on with the holidays and then work around the holidays gets stressful for both of us, the line of work we're in, obviously. And so we're constantly dealing with family, work stuff, and trying to handle everything else in between, right? So that's why the podcast had been off for the last 2 weeks, but we're back now. Anything new going on the front that we haven't mentioned through the few texts that we had sent back and forth, or is everything still roughly the same and just moving on?
Yeah, everything's about the same. Our good friends, Herman and Claudia, their last day at Walmart is actually today, and they're going back to their home country of Colombia.
Yes. Good people, though. I used to manage Claudia at that store.
Yeah.
But it has something to do with the laws, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they came over because their president is not like ours. Ours is great, and theirs is like almost like a Hitler type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they came over not the correct way and stuff, and now they got to go back and stuff. So hopefully they got the taste of how great America is.
Now, let me ask you something.
Over here the right way.
Okay, let me ask you something. And I noticed this. They worked there for over a year, I know. Maybe even a year and a half, 2 years, right? So here's my question to that. They were given notice that they're going back. They wasn't just picked up at work and thrown around like a bunch of animals. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that goes to show that, I think that a lot of incidences that we're seeing in this world, in our country, going on with deporting people, I think they really were looking for the bad people to begin with. So, but I'm sad to see them go because, her husband was a really nice guy, and I know he worked more closely with you. And then, of course, I managed her on my team for a whole year, and she was there before I got there. So I know they've been over here in America for about a year and a half, 2 years at least.
Yeah.
But good luck to them. I hate to see them go, but I don't know all the circumstances and the political stuff. Maybe if they get their stuff right, they'll get to come back and live here like they're, legally. I guess that's what we're talking about. I really don't dibble into politics too much. Don't know the whole story, but sad to see them go. But yeah. Other than that, home life's good, right?
Yeah. Everything's good. Can't complain too much. I mean, how can I complain when I got kids and a hot American wife?
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
what else do you need in life?
Huh?
I mean, I got God with me. So the only thing that was terrible last year or this year at the beginning of it, Cowboys lost and didn't make the playoffs.
Well, speaking of that, let me tell you something. So my Buccaneers played the Panthers, right? They beat them last Saturday. I watched the game. I was all excited. I'm like, long as New Orleans wins tomorrow, right? Well, guess what New Orleans did not do on Sunday? Because at this point, once the Bucks won their game, they were tied in the division in the South, the same record. And Lord behold, Falcons take it. So the Panthers are in the playoffs, and the Bucks are sitting at home now.
Well, I wish Cowboys could have done it, but a lot of bad stuff during the season, but it's some good stuff with the first year coach. So hopefully they can build on it and keep on going.
Well, one thing's for sure, in the last couple of years of watching even football, surprising things have happened.
Yeah.
This year, the Chiefs, dude, it's like they crapped the bed, right? So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They had a few good years there, but I believe everybody's few good years runs out after a while, and it don't matter what you do, and that's what's happening with that. So, but good luck with the Cowboys next year. You know, I'm not a Cowboy fan per se, but I got a lot of friends that are, and remarkably, you know, I got friends here in Tampa that are Cowboy fans. I got friends in Virginia that are Cowboy fans. I have friends in North Carolina that are Cowboy fans. Hell, everywhere I've lived, I think they've been Cowboy fans. Never got it. I never understood why North Carolina and Virginia had Cowboy fans all the way from Texas all the way up. I never understood it when we had the Panthers and the Redskins. I call them. I don't call them the Commanders. I hate that. But you know, I never understood it. And you know, I also have the Eagles. The Eagles is kind of close to Virginia, Philadelphia, the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers. But yet, everybody likes Texas and the Cowboys. So
Yeah. Now, when you're a Cowboys fan, you're a Cowboys fan for life.
that's what I hear. Was your dad a Cowboy fan too?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole family is.
Oh wow, I didn't know that part. I knew you were
Well,
a big Cowboy fan.
well, maybe not my uncle. My uncle likes the Commanders, Redskins, but
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
every family can't be perfect, right?
I guess not. Well, you know, growing up in Virginia, I was originally a Redskins fan when I was small, and we moved to North Carolina, and I kind of fell out of football, but I still wear the Redskins apparel everywhere through junior high. And then we finally got the Panthers. I jumped on that bandwagon because we had a local team where I lived, and I supported them throughout living in Charlotte. We moved to Kentucky. We even moved to Florida the first time. Still supported the Panthers, but after living here the first time for like 10 years, a little over 10 years, we became Buccaneer fans, going to the stadium here, you know, seeing the stadium, seeing how passionate the city is about their teams, not just the football team, but other teams, the hockey team, the Lightning, the Tampa Bay Rays. They're real passionate about their teams. And we became Bucks fans, and I've never looked back. I never went back to being a Panther or a Redskin fan. I've always been a Bucks fan since, and I'll probably stay that way from now on. But I don't know. When we got Brady, everybody thought I liked the Bucks because of Brady, right? And when I lived in Virginia, and I was like, why would you think that? Oh, I thought you was a Patriots fan. No, I've been a Buccaneers fan since day one. It just so happens we got him and we got a Super Bowl, right? So take it.
Yeah, y'all probably won't win another one for a while.
You might be right. I don't know. I hope not. I hope you're wrong because they got a good team. I just think we got to get some things together. The quarterback, I love the quarterback. Just good team, man. I think they can get their stuff together. We'll be fine. And maybe next year we'll be back in the playoffs at least, you know. We'll have to see what happens. And then, you know, you said that the Cowboys had a new coach. So, hey, maybe that'll turn them around.
Hopefully. I I know they need help on the defense. Who knows? If Jerry Jones calls me up, I might have to strap on the helmet and go out there myself. So,
I'd like to see that. Now,
so
would
I
you
think
have? Let me ask you this though: would you have golden one on the back of the jersey, or would you have the mayor?
probably the golden ones because that's who I am.
Okay.
I mean, I'm also the mayor, but the golden one is like iconic now. So,
Okay. True. True.
and then
I
look, they could pay everybody else millions of dollars.
yeah.
Just give me enough to live on. I'll strap on that helmet and I'll go out there and hit people for free if I have to.
See what
Just
I'm
help the
saying?
Cowboys win the Super Bowl. I'll do it.
Well, that see, that's my whole thing too with the wrestling business, right? All these guys are getting these $1 million contracts nowadays. But years ago, before they put all this in line, you had to work every night to get your pay. If the houses were down, your pay was down. The houses were up, which you hope they were. You got good money, right? They signed you these low end deals when they started contracts. You'd only be promised so many days, like 10 days a year, and it was like minimal money of like, I want to say I heard $150 a night. Now listen to that. 10 dates, $150 a night. That's nothing, right? But what everybody knew was that if they got on the road and business was up, they made 10 times, 20 times the amount of money, right?
Yep.
So that's why a lot of guys praised Hogan during the Hogan era, is because they had to work like that. When they were on the show with Hogan, even if they were open the show, mid-card show or whatever, they were happy to be on the show with Hogan because they knew the houses were up and the pay was up. Today, I think guys, when they guaranteed this money, it's not as lucrative for you to work as hard. I'm not saying they don't work hard. I'm just saying it's not as lucrative in your mind. Because think about it. If you don't have a carrot dangling over your head to make more money, right? You're probably going to be like, my money's there regardless if I work my butt off or not. So I can go out here and have a lackluster match. Maybe not as good as my last one. I'll make up for it next time or whatever. I don't know what people think. But that was sort of like the deal, my WCW deal was a little different structured. It was a weekly paycheck before I stepped out of my home. I had money coming in. And then versus when I worked on the road, I got paid. So that was good. TNA was totally different. TNA, if I didn't go to work, I did not work. Guess what I did not get, Mike? I did not receive pay. It's just like if I go to my job today, I get paid, right? Well, if I take the day off, if I don't have any time to put in, what happens? I get zero money for the day, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. So I like that you made that point there, that you do it for a hell of a lot less than the millions of dollars to do it, right? Just to get by, because that's been my whole theory with the pro wrestling business for myself. I loved it so much that, I don't know what the refs are making nowadays. I really don't know because I ain't been there in years. But I guarantee you that they're making more than what I made in WCW. You can pay me what I made in WCW and I can still live decently and nice. You know what I'm saying? Even 25 years later, 26 years later, whatever it is. So good point you made there. But that's a whole different topic in itself to talk about the contracts of today versus the contracts of 90s versus no contracts in the 80s. They were basically, people say the pro wrestling business never had handshake deals. Or apparently in the 1970s, 60s, 80s, all these years prior going in to, the first Crockett contract, from what I heard, and I could, if anybody has any other information to correct me, please send it in to me. But I heard Lex Luger was the first one they signed to an actual contract in 1987. So take that in consideration. The first Crockett contract was 1987. McMahon made it more promising, probably starting in the mid 80s, a couple years before, after his big booming era. But what I'm trying to get at here is before that, guys would work on handshake deals. It'd be like, hey, we'll take care of you. You come in, we'll make you a star, whatever was said. And they got paid by working. And if they didn't work, no one got paid. Simple as that. And I think every job should be that way, even today, even in pro wrestling. If you don't come to work, you don't get paid. Now, if you're injured, that's one thing. But if you are a crybaby and they let you sit at home because you're whining about your storylines, you don't get paid, buddy. Sit at home. cry, sulk up in your thing, because guess what? They're paying your bills. So anyway, I could go on all day, Mike. But good point you made up there. Another good point we can bring up before we move on, Mike, I know you got more to say, I can tell, is we need everybody to go give it a shot if you haven't already. Go to cowboyrevolution.com, Cowboy Revolution Apparel Company, and at checkout, use the code JaMieT123 to receive 15% off. It's still in the middle of winter at most places, not here in another country, as Mike calls it, down here in Southwest Florida. It is pretty warm daily, but go check out the hoodies and the toboggans, the hats, and everything else to keep your heads warm during your winter time, guys. So, Mike, you got anything else to add to that? What?
Yeah, support the veterans.
There you go. There you
Not
go.
forgetting the veterans.
And,
yeah, we keep an eye on the veterans, apparently.
that's right.
It helps support the veterans. Very good for them. But yeah, they got nice hats and shirts, hoodies, and we need them up in Virginia. Like right now, it's 40. So,
Yeah.
like at night, like when I go to work early in the morning, it's pretty chilly and stuff. So.
Yeah, if I had to guess here, I'm looking at my weather. Let me see. Real quick, we'll look up the weather here to compare it. If I can find my weather app.
They don't have it up in another country.
They don't give me the weather here. Okay, so my high today is going to be 79 degrees, and right now it's 69. So, yeah, it's going to be a quite warm day. No hoodies needed here.
So our high is going to be 58.
58?
Yeah.
Okay, not too much worse. That's a good day of weather for that area. That's a good day of weather. I could live in 58-degree weather easily. That's actually good weather to go outside, short sleeve shirt, get some breeze.
Yep.
You have to excuse this. Let's see what this is. I don't know. There we go. All right. So as we talked about,
well, we don't plan this stuff.
That's right. Hey guys, remember that. Send your question, comments in to WrestleRef123@gmail.com. Mike had asked me to look up the questions earlier. I did not go to it today. I will check them next time. If we have any questions before today or today, after today, you send them into that email. I will answer them, or Mike will answer them at WrestleRef123@gmail.com. We promise you we will check our emails eventually. It's just been real busy. I really don't apologize. I take it back. I've been busy. I'm not apologizing for having a life. So, Mike, wrestling news right now, right? JCW's Heavyweight Championship was won last week because I watched it with my own eyes. Matt Cardona, otherwise known as Zack Ryder to WWE fans, which I think he's going by his actual name now there,
Yep.
won the JCW title and then got signed to WWE and has already relinquished the title because he's a contracted wrestler with the WWE now. So my question is, Mike, do you think it's just perfect timing? He worked really hard, which he has. He's been on the indies, made sure he was relevant, right? He's really relevant on the indies. He's actually one of the guys that was actually making money off the independents. And it's hard out there, guys, for not just workers and referees and anybody involved. It's hard as it is. My kudos go to him for what he's accomplished. Now, on top of that, do you think it was just timing and it was time for him to go back? He worked really hard. He deserved it, which he did. I'm not taking that away. Or do you think it was, being that Vince Russo's had ill remarks towards Triple H and the WWE, their product and how they run it, and he apparently just does not like Triple H. I don't know how Triple H feels about him. It's probably the same thing. Do you think, what I'm trying to get at is, do you think it's perfect timing for Matt Cardona? Or do you think that it was hey, you know what? We're going to screw up your show when you're first getting started with it, buddy. And we're going to take back Matt Cardona, sign him, and then blow up your show. But then again, I think that's stupid because me personally, I wouldn't sign nobody just to be signed to, you know what I'm saying? So what is your opinion? Do you think it's just him working hard and getting back where he deserves?
it's hard to say. I think it's a right timing for him, for
Mhm.
Matt.
Yeah.
Uh, he's been working hard, like you said. They call him the indie guy. Like he's before he got hurt, he was a belt collector. He had like 15 championships at one time.
Yep.
He was the former NWA champion. Everything like he was all around. Uh, he was up on Impact. He was JCW, NWA, like all over the place. But the timing for him, I think it was like 5 years since he really stepped into a ring in WWE. The timing's there. Um, I think they probably signed him for the reactions he had for the last time it's now tournament for John Cena's thing. The reaction was great. Uh, but it comes at a weird time too because WWE sent out a email to TNA and AEW wrestlers saying that they're not hiring nobody at this moment. And then he pops up like a week or two later.
Mhm.
So the timing of that part is weird,
Mhm.
but maybe they already had it in the writings and
Yep.
stuff before they sent that out. So I
Well,
don't know. We'll find out if he's a main event star like he is on the Indies,
mhm.
or if they put him back in the mid card and ain't doing nothing.
That's true. That's true. I happen to think that it was just odd timing, and he was going to go back anyway, uh, regardless if it was now or whenever. Right? I just think they pulled the plug and said, "Hey, let's do this. Let's hire Matt Cardona back." I don't think it had nothing to do with him winning the JCW title. I just think it's bad timing for JCW when he wins the title, right? So that's my opinion on that. I think he would have made a great champion for that company. I think he's held it one other time, from what I've read and heard. But right now, I think with them needing a push into the forward motion, I think Cardona would have been a good asset for that company to keep. But obviously, we know they're not on the big hamster wheel like the WWE is, and keep they're more accessible to being able to probably give a better contract and a more secure money. So I see why he signed. He's been wanting to go back. I think he's been open about it anyway on social media over the years. So good for him. I'm happy for him. I hope he succeeds there this time around, even better than the time before, because I thought he was good the first time. Because wasn't he with a tag team when he first started, like a brother tag team?
Yeah, he was with Brian Myers
Yes.
in TNA right now, and
Yes.
they was actually uh, kind of like Edge's lackeys. They kind of dressed up with like the Rated R Supercard
Yes.
tights and
Mm-hmm.
long hair and stuff like that.
I met both of them. I don't think it was at Raw in Charlotte. My tryouts I had. It was the next day. We did SmackDown in Roanoke, Virginia, and I think I met both of them there. And Cardona and Myers both were just super nice guys. They were just happy to be there, and that's the kind of guys you want to see succeed. Guys that are just happy generally to be there, regardless. At that point they had not made their mark yet, right? Technically, and they were just happy to be there. That's the kind of guys you want to see succeed. The guys that really want it. The guys that don't complain and bitch and whine and, oh, my character's being hurt and I can't lose tonight and blah blah blah. It's pro wrestling, bro. Go out there, take your win, take your losses, and take your paycheck. That's all it's all about. As long as you're not this is the way I always looked at pro wrestling. As long as I'm not put in a compromising position that's going to hurt me physically in a way. I know accidents happen. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you want me to do some stupid stunt that I know I'm going to break something if I do it because I know I can't pull it off. I'll step up and say no. But otherwise, I'll do anything you ask of me. It's the pro wrestling business. That's what it's about. You protect each other while you're out there. We all have families at the end of the day. Some have kids, some don't, but you have wives, girlfriends, whatever, right? Moms, dads, whatever. You want to go home and see them. You protect each other in the ring, and you go home and you come back and do it again. It's real simple. It's almost like having a job, but it's better than a job, because if you love what you do, it's not a job, and that's a true statement. Because when I was full-time doing the pro wrestling, I was always happy. Never had a discouraging remark about it. I can't say so much now, but what I do in the real world. But here we are, and that's the way it goes. But I'm happy for him in the long run. I'm just gonna wrap it up. I'm happy for him. I don't think it was anything to do with Russo and Triple H's disdain for each other or hatred. I don't know what they got going on there. I don't think it's nothing to do with that. I just think it's weird timing and bad for JCW because of the timing. But I think they'll pick up. I mean, it's pro wrestling. They'll pick up and they'll figure out something and do something just as good or better. So it's all right. I think they'll survive. And I know WWE is they got a good acquisition with him, and maybe he'll add some depth to the roster and put him in a good story or something. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him.
Me too.
Good.
Like I said, hopefully they don't put him in the mid card. So hopefully they can really push him, because seen him on the independents and like in TNA, and he showed up in AEW a few times and NWA. He's got the tools. He's got the look. He's got the tools. Now, will they pull the trigger and let him be the main event and stuff? It's the question.
Right.
So hopefully.
Yep. You're right about that. So this question was asked for me, not from the emails. I don't know what's going on there yet. This was asked to me because I was talking at my I call it a shoot job. It's my actual job. Just put it that way. The guys in the business call it their shoot job when they work in the business full time, which I don't. Everybody knows that. I'm periodically in and out of the business. But anyway, they asked me at work, this guy, because we talk about wrestling. He asked me, why don't I do more shows and stuff or appearances? Because I told him about Wrestle Expo, right? And frankly, I just told him. I said, the main reason I don't do more wrestling shows on the indies and I don't do more appearances is two reasons. One, if I don't get asked, I don't go looking for it, right? Two, there's not enough money on the indies for a referee, even somebody that's been somewhere, to make a full-time living, to walk away, because we don't have health plans, no health benefits. There's no dental. There's no eye care. There's nothing, bro. If you go back on the indies, even if I could make what I make at my job, I still would have no health insurance. I'd have to get all that on my own. Premiums are high. You got to think about the variables here, right? So when I look at my variables here on the indies, to get what I want, no real promoter is going to give that out there. Or you'd see more guys over the years back, when TNA, Earl Hebner and them had light schedules, right? You'd have seen Earl Hebner doing indies probably all the friggin' time, but he knew the same thing as me. It's hard to make any dough on the indies, right? You can ask any referee that's been somewhere and now on the indies, they're going to use Joe Blow down the street, their buddy or something, maybe because he's a lot cheaper, right? Or who knows? I don't even know if you pay your buddy. But my point is, that's why I don't do many appearances. The appearance thing, I just don't go looking for conventions. I don't go emailing conventions, hey, or email people that do the conventions and bring people in. I don't go out looking for that. I haven't. The time I did WrestleCade and Wrestle Expo, I didn't go looking for stuff. It happened. Wrestling shows, sometimes I will try to get some wrestling shows, but it just depends. But my main reason is the money, and there's no health coverage, bro. You got to have health insurance, especially when you get older. I'm in my late 40s now. I got more things to worry about than doing 10, 12 indie shows a month if it's not paying my bills. You know what I'm saying? So that's my main thing. I like to spend time with my wife, too. My weekends sometime, I'd rather spend my time with my wife than go do an indie show. And that may sound harsh to some guys that want to make it, but these guys hopefully are not in their 40s trying to make it to the big time, right? Hopefully they're in their 20s and can give their time and they have the energy and not worried about their health as much as people that are getting older. So that's my answer.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer to the question, really.
I
Uh,
mean, you can't give,
like
you
if
can't
you was,
get,
huh?
go ahead.
Like if you was younger, then I'll be like, yeah, try to do what you can and stuff. But like you said, you're upper 60s, want
I hate you.
to
Upper six.
want to spend time with your wife and everything.
Yes. The wife
I mean,
thing is very important to
like
me
you
now.
already like lived your dream, you know. Like, yeah, you
I
still
have.
want to do it. Like you
Yep.
still want to do it,
Yep.
but like, do you really see yourself doing it full time this late in your career?
Definitely not on the indies. No.
Uh,
If I had an opportunity, Mike, with another major company, and it didn't have to be in ring. It could be helping out with the talents, maybe the newer referees. I'd be more than open to do that, you know. But as in making this on the indies, my full time gig, no, I don't see that. And it's not me being pessimistic. It's just me seeing reality as, like I said, the independents are far and few in between that are going to have you. So, in a nutshell, let's look at it like this: out of 100% of the guys that work on the independent circuit, right? How many do you really think make a living off of it? That's all I'm trying to ask, right? It's a very small percentage. I don't even know, but you can't tell me that we even have 20% making a living off of the business. If they are, power to you. And I'm sorry for saying that I'm wrong. And I'll say I'm wrong, right? I just don't see it, man, because over the years, I tried going back on the indies when I didn't have my big runs, and it's hard to make money. And it's one thing to do it because I'm a referee. I get that. But it's hard out there. And the ones that are making it, I salute you, but I guarantee you they got some kind of name behind them. They're not just, you know what I'm saying. Johnny Come Lately down the street here is not making a living off the independents. If he's telling somebody that, Johnny Come Lately is having his real job support his habit. And that habit and recreational need is professional wrestling. And it's the truth. And the more people see the truth about that, maybe more you respect the guys on the indies because they're out here on their off time from their jobs, probably tired, but they want to be a pro wrestler and they give you their time. So support them by all means. But as everybody making a living off this business, I don't see that many on the indies making a living. And the ones that are, like I said, they're either busting their butt and they know the right people or whatever they're doing. I want to know what they're doing because it's been a really hard struggle at times on the indies to make money, at least for me. But like I said, it has a lot to do with me being a referee too. They can get a lot of other indie refs for a lot less and throw them in the ring. And some of them are really good, but some of them are not. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we could talk a tirade about that all day long. But that's the main reason why I don't do it. Because if I could make a living off the indies, Mike, I wouldn't be going to work weekly. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't. And that's just the truth. So
good answer,
any other wrestling news, man, going on? I know we touched with JCW and Matt Cardona. It just comes out of my mind. Once we talk about it earlier, I forget it, right? I don't know why. Yep. I do it every time. But
well, it is one thing.
What's that?
It's a very, like we talked about sad day about the Cowboys not making the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sad day up in wrestling.
Okay.
Apparently the Bullet Club is over.
I saw that.
But if I'm still breathing, Bullet Club ain't never dead. I'm just throwing that out there. What was it? On the 5th of January, so it just happened, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
I don't know. When they started doing it, like most of the group was, they changed it to like the War Dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And had Finley as their leader and stuff. It just wasn't. It just wasn't the same. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's been part of my life since I was 21, almost 22 years old, and now it's apparently no more. Like it's a sad day.
Hey, man, listen, man.
I'm thinking about taking bereavement at work and everything. I
Really?
don't know if they'll accept it or not, but
I would assume that they wouldn't accept your bereavement for the Bullet Club, bro.
it's Bullet Club is family, so
Okay.
maybe I can talk to the lawyers and see if I can get it.
You should, Mike. I think you should talk to your lawyers, see what comes out of that, and you let us know here on the podcast.
Okay. Well, no. Well, they got like they got so many Bullet Club members in WWE. You got Good Brothers always trying to do something about the Bullet Club on the Indies. Then you got the Jay White and stuff. When they come back, they was called Bullet Club Gold, but now the Bang Bang Gang
Mhm.
in AEW. Do you think somebody could be like, no, it's not dead. We're gonna bring it back, almost like WCW did with NWO in 1999
Right.
with like Jared and Brett and stuff.
Yep.
Because the Bullet Club, yeah, 13 years, that's a long time. But you got to think how apparently they're so over still in like Mexico and stuff. Good Brothers just went down there to do a show, and they said up on their podcast like it was really big down there still. Like, could they like New Japan sell the name to say somebody in Mexico and they can have it in Mexico or something?
I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, if they want to sell the name, I mean, I'll buy it.
No, they were going to talk about that on Talking Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they did a live one last night, but I was up since like 2:30. I wasn't gonna stay up to watch
Okay.
it, but I'm gonna listen to it in a little bit and everything, and see what the Good Brothers got to say about it. But like I said, it's that day. I'm almost lost for words.
I can tell, and that's
Yeah.
that's really hard, guys.
Yeah.
You be lost to words.
Oh, yeah. Now I know how you felt when like the Horsemen, the NWO, all that. Now it's the Bullet Club.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah. I was, there's been so many good stables in the industry. The Bullet Club was really big in Japan, more so than even here. And but to look at their stable and to look how many years it did last, that's a long run
yeah.
for a stable in this business. But who knows, man? I still got some Bullet Club stuff, but the merch is worn out. So that goes another question. Is there any Bullet Club merch still being able to be bought?
Oh yeah, I can. If I have PayPal or Google Pay, I can go to Pro Wrestling Tees and buy it right now. So I don't have that stuff. So I can't buy it. Uh, you can buy some stuff on eBay, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sure you can find like all those. Like you can buy like the knockoff shirts on Amazon and stuff. So you can still get it. Uh, but either way, the Bullet Club might not be officially around right now. But you know what is? The Good Brothers. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as the Good Brothers are still around, the Bullet Club's still around.
That's right. The
So
Good Brothers, which I know they're your favorite tag team.
they got a great podcast.
They've been your favorite tag team for quite a while.
Yeah, I like Gallows when he was. I like the Festus gimmick, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Biscuits and gravy. To uh, to when he did the whole Kane impersonating thing when Kane's movie came out in
Yeah.
2000, like on May 19th.
Right.
Well, which is that's my birthday, so I kind of enjoyed that whole storyline and everything. And then Gallows just had to be the imposter Kane during that.
Right.
Uh, the straight edge society. Uh, when he was part of that, but then started really clicking with Gallows when he was part of the Aces and Eights in
Yeah.
TNA.
Yep. Aces and
Uh,
eights.
it's hard to believe when AJ got that hammer and hit Gallows in the head. That one segment, they would become the one like the best trios up in the Bullet Club, WWE, and everything.
Right.
It's just hard to believe like they would be that close after that one segment, and after that, it was like good people on screen and stuff.
Right.
Uh, I think at that time Anderson was up in New Japan and getting ready to form the Bullet Club with Ben and everything. So Carl was actually a founding member of the Bullet Club. And Gallup came in like a week or so later after that. So they got, like I said, they got an awesome podcast. You can still watch their Talkomania 1 and 2 on Triller Plus TV. You can listen to the podcast on there. You can listen to it on YouTube, just like you can listen to Jamie and Mike's Wrestling Adventures
That's right.
on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it really just on YouTube. You can have it on your TV if you got a smart TV on YouTube. Get a big old screen, have our faces on it. Who wouldn't love that?
I know I do. I love seeing myself on TV.
You got that right.
And speaking of that, Peacock removed all their footage.
Yeah,
It's gone. Because I went on there and just to see, if it would really be gone after the first year. And WWE is not on the sidebar. Nowhere to be found. Previous stuff I had been in the middle of watching, not finished, was not in my search history to finish watching it. So, yeah, that's a real thing. But I hear YouTube's getting all of it eventually, right?
Well, that's what I heard, but then I also heard that Netflix got it all right now.
Okay.
But then I think Netflix got it, but then they got like all the moments, like even with one of our favorite wrestlers, Chris Benoit, on it.
That's right. Hall of Famer Chris Benoit. So, if it upsets you, just like Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous sent us an email weeks ago, send us another email. Let us know how you really feel.
And by the time James look at it, it might be old.
It could be, but I'll still answer it. You know me. I'll still go and say, hey, you can go F yourself or something. But
and then don't forget about Vince McMahon. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Speaking of Vince, there's a news story real quick that I read about the text messaging during a Mania storyline or something. They had a secret text messaging service, or I don't know. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it's something crazy I saw on the net, and it just goes to show that Vince was still in the creative process of certain stuff going on. So it's kind of weird, right? What Mania did we have last year?
41
or 42?
42 is this year, I think. I think it was 41.
Okay. Well, I thought they said it was for storylines and matches for WrestleMania 42. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was from a prior one. But yeah, that story leaked out. I read that. It's on there somewhere on the internet. And I was like, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, last year was WrestleMania 41.
Okay. Maybe it was 41. I have to really go research that a little better, but I did read that in the last week or so. Because I wish I had it pulled up, because it's something funny in the texting that we'd have both laughed at. It was something that Nick Khan sent a message in the group chat or whatever, and it was a weird word, and Vince was like, LOL, what the F is that? And then he tells him what it was. It was basically their private chat, so no one could, they erase as soon as they talk or something. I don't know. I guess it works similar to Messenger when it, you send dark messages in the Messenger and nobody can see it. And once they see it, it's gone. It's nowhere longer. Yeah. So that, I guess. I don't know. We need to look that up.
Just like Hillary Clinton did with those emails. She deleted them.
Pretty much.
But we're not bringing that up. But but we are going to bring up Chris Benoit.
Yes.
He deserves
all day, every day.
Hall of Fame.
Let's see if I got that real quick. Vince McMahon. I'm trying to find that story. I can't find it. I'm telling you, I read that.
Well, you just keep looking that up, and I will talk about Cowboy Revolution one last time.
Did you say Cowboy Revolution?
I did, because Cowboy Revolution supports the veterans. Use the code at checkout JamieT123 to save 15% on hats, shirts, hoodies, tumblers, stickers. I think they had some bags for ladies and stuff. And the best part is to support the veterans. So go to cowboyrevolution.com and use the code JamieT123.
That's right. So everything I'm finding about Vince McMahon is text messages about his sex trafficking scandal. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to find it. But anyway, that's what I read. He was basically talking about, I guess he was in Still Creative or whatever. And this was, I think I just read it was in 2023. So it's been a while. So I was really off on my years, I guess. But because it's been a while since he's left the company, right?
Yeah.
Has it been that long or no?
So it was 2026. He hasn't been gone for
2 years?
3 years, ain't it? It says 42. Was he there at 39 when Rhodes came back?
I think he was there when Rhodes came back.
So that might have been when he was trying to sell WWE to TKO and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'd be close to 3 years.
But I just wonder, do you think McMahon is still in the creative process now?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Like, he could be. I think I read somewhere where he didn't sell like all of his. He sold like all of his stock or ownership.
Yeah.
And stuff, but not like a certain stock. Like he's still part of the WWE, but just not the TKO part.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be, but some of the writing and booking lately sounds like something he would have done back in 2013 and stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah. True. Wow. That's crazy. Think about that. Wow. Well, with that going on and all, I know the NXT women's, was it the Intercontinental title, international? What title was that? NXT title?
The North American.
You remember the one we watched? Yes. That girl that won it by accident, she kept it and then lost it to someone recently.
Yeah. Yesterday, 2 days ago.
Now, do you think that was the original plan, was for this current girl to win it from the other one? Or do you think they just did this now as something different?
She was going to lose it to the one
that just
later on. The accident one.
Okay.
She was going to win it, I think, like in a couple weeks or in a month or something.
Ah,
The one that won it on Tuesday, I think it's because the first one that got kind of like the wind knocked out of her,
yeah.
I think she's moving up to the main roster
Okay.
now. So
Okay.
that's why she didn't get her rematch.
Yeah.
Because it was just weird because how she had it and they was talking about her getting her rematch, and all of a sudden the storyline is like, oh no, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
While everybody else again moved up, so I think she's probably going to get moved up to the main roster.
Okay. And there's no more chatter about that championship win weeks ago now. Nobody's really talking about it.
No, the only thing I heard was the ref got fined or something.
For real?
So, yeah. So I think they try to blame it on the ref.
Of course they would. That's the easy. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. That's the easiest cop out in the pro wrestling business. Is when any of the guys or girl, and I'm not trying to get heat here, and I really don't care because I have no stance in the major outline of the pro wrestling business right now. But that's the easiest cop out, and I said that last time. And when I looked at it, I told you I didn't think he was at fault because he thought what he did was right. And then the girl did get knocked out. She really did not kick out. I just don't see how you can find him. But that's the funny thing. You do your job and you feel like at the end of the day, well, what is right and wrong? It's like they changed the rules on you, right? I don't know. That's just odd to me. Why would
It might not be. It might just be a storyline that they're trying to cover up like the bad mistakes. Maybe he didn't really get. Maybe he didn't really get fined. Maybe they're just like they. I don't think they showed it like said it on TV. I think they just did it like online. Maybe to guide down the whole thing about
now,
being a
is this
mistake
like a
and stuff.
news source that said it?
I don't remember.
Okay, it may just be a lot of made
I'm
up.
pretty sure we talked about it
Oh, we
like
did.
right before the holidays. I think
Okay,
so.
maybe. I just don't get it. Because after watching that, I mean, yes, your theory, he could have waved it off, because she did move her arm up, and he could have. But in his mind, I'm telling you, in his mind, he's thinking if I don't hit 3, I'm going to get reprimanded for not doing that, right? Because refs are told if they don't kick out, you count. But it's like a catch-22. I guess that's the saying you use here. I might be wrong about that, but basically what I'm saying there is on the flip side, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I think that's the predicament this kid was in. It's damned if he did, damned if he doesn't do it. And he chose one way. I just feel like by looking at that, if he'd have went the other route, he might be getting bitched at still. You know what or if it's true. Yeah. If it's true. We don't know if it's true. I just feel like he was in a bad predicament. And but that, like I said before, a lot of times in these scenarios, I'm going to say it, the talent gets whiny. And when the talent gets whiny and bitches, upper management takes their side. And they're going to say, well, I don't even know the guy's name to refer to him. But
I don't know.
let's say Bob. Well, Bob is at fault here. Don't worry about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's a fake story, and I hope it is. Because, like I said, I think there's no one in fault in this total situation. The match happened the way it did. Let old dogs lie, is the way I look at it. Let it go. Everybody let it go. Everybody stop talking about it. But then again, I don't know if any of the participants at hand or any of the agents or upper management took sides. We don't know what happened because that happens at times. And if you don't have an advocate, I guess we could use that word, or someone that takes up for the situation, right? I'll give you an old scenario real quick, Mike. I may have brought this up podcasts ago, but it was at WCW Thunder taping. And we did tapings. At this point, they weren't live at all. They were taped. But they wanted to keep their time straight because we were taping these shows right after Nitro. So it's a long night. So we wanted to keep it where they didn't have to edit a whole lot out if they had to edit the match for TV time, right? So it's a tag match with Sean O'Haire, Chuck Palumbo, and Big Vito, working Big Vito and Alan Funk, which went by Kwee at the time. Well, I kept giving the time cues to everybody involved. Well, they go over their time, a few minutes actually. We get to the back. The agent on this at the time was Ricky Santana. Ricky's questioning me, are you giving the times? Are you telling the guys the times? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I'm giving the times. Well, why'd they go over? Well, Sean O'Hare, God rest his soul, I don't like to talk about the dead, but he did say this. He came straight out and said, Jamie never gave us any times. Blatantly lied. And guess who stood up? As always, Big Vito. Vito goes, Jamie gave the times. You know, he made it clear to Ricky that that I was giving my cues, right? After that, Ricky had to go over some points in the match with the guys. I was dismissed. I could go on because that was his only problem with me, was figuring out whether I was given the time cues to keep these matches in restraints, right? And I did. And the only time I've never gave time cues in a match that were given to me is when my IFB had went out on me. I couldn't help that if it ain't giving me feed. And that was understandable. In that time, everything was fine because it wasn't my fault. It was the audio. But no, Sean O'Hare, man, I was like, dude, why are you throwing me under the bus for no friggin' reason? But thanks God, once again, we talked about Vito, great guy, great stand-up dude, took up for me and got me out of heat. But that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. We don't know what all happened with that scenario in NXT. We don't know who all complained, who all didn't stick up for the guy if he needed that, right? Because you always need someone like that. But a lot of the boys are scared. A lot of the girls, I guess we can say girls now too, because we've got a lot more lady athletes in the business nowadays. Don't stand up for nobody. Everybody's scared to stand up. But I can tell you that about Vito. Vito will tell whoever straight up, hey, this is how it is. This is how it goes. And that's what he did that night. And he's done that several times when I've worked with him. He's had my back in the pro wrestling business. And I applaud him for that. Not many guys will do that. He's one of the very few. So we don't know. I'd like to find out the real backstory on this and maybe touch the subject up again another week. But find out if it's real news. And we can really go in discussion. But if it's just banter and chat on the internet scene, it may not be nothing to it. So I don't know. But what I do know is they should go to cowboyrevolution.com, Cowboy Revolution Apparel Company, and use the code JamieT123 for 15% off as soon as you listen to the podcast. And thank you. Also, there's the email to send your questions, comments, complaints, or if you do not like me, I do not care, but I'll listen to it and read it. Send it in each and every week. We will like to hear it. All right.
This won't be anonymous. We want to give everybody a shout out on here.
That's right. We do. And, we enjoy coming back we try to come weekly, but I know some weeks we miss. Holidays recently we missed, but it is what it is. But we will continue to bring you this podcast regardless. We do want more questions. I have to check my emails for that. It's been about a month since I looked at that email that comes into here. I apologize for that, but I've been busy, like I said. But send in all your questions and comments to the podcast. Next week, we're going to go back in time, Mike. We're going to talk about the earlier years of my career and start talking about things and bringing up stories for the listeners. And then the week after, we're going to have a special guest. We will announce that next week on the podcast. But with that being said, one last thing before we get off today. To the younger talent, work hard. Listen, you're going to get critiqued by many, many people in this business. A lot of us see things different than others. There's no wrong way to go about it. It's just learn your foundation, take things from people here and there, and use it. And just always be able to adapt to your situations, whether it's your indie show, or you're going to get a tryout with the WWE, AEW, TNA, NWA, wherever that may be, right? Just remember to keep your eyes open, your ears open, your eyes. I don't know how that saying goes, but anyway, keep your mouth shut in the long run, right? Eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. There we go. And just learn. And you continuously will learn. And yeah, find your way. So with that being said, Mikey, I think we're done for this week.
All right, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, we talked about a lot of good things, and then a couple sad things, like the Bullet Club.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still sad about that. But no, hopefully, like I said, that maybe it's not a hurt. It's like still two people left from the original Bullet Club, or before they changed it to the War Dogs. So maybe I think one is Chase Owens.
Yeah, I like Chase.
I think, yeah. So I think he was one, and I can't remember the other one. So it might be officially did to New Japan, but even if you got that one person, they could still bring it back. So never say never in the wrestling business.
That is true. That's the biggest saying ever, or I wouldn't still be lagging around somewhere. And speaking of that, I'll be in Winter Haven tomorrow night, January the 9th. I will be appearing for a Florida Pro Wrestling show, FPW, and I'm looking forward to that. I'll be refereeing alongside former WCW referee as well as me, Randy Eller. Randy was there in the mid-'90s. I was there in 99 through closing, 2001. Everybody knows that. But, I look forward to sharing the ring with Randy tomorrow night with some great young indie talent that's trying to make their way. Good stars on the show. Go check it out. You can't miss it. Independent wrestling where it's at, man. That's where the future stars lie. And if you do not go to these shows, you will not see them till possibly when they get signed, and you won't know their background. But if you know their background, I guarantee you will appreciate them a lot more, knowing they struggled, through the bad times and good times on the indies. And just give it a shot whenever an indie show comes to your town. But yeah, that's all I got, my man. And closing talks. Closing talks. Just keep your head up. Another thing, Chase Owens, you mentioned him. I'll say this. I don't know if you knew this, Mike. I may have told you. Ricky Morton trained him.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did it when we was at the gym together.
Yep.
So that tells you. Chase Owens Bullet Club shirt.
Yep, I have that shirt. Because Chase Owens a Virginia boy too. But with that background, you know why Chase is good. He had a good foundation. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Yeah. Find the people to listen to. And I'm not saying that you have to take everything they tell you, but trust me, somebody that's been around that long, if they're trying to help you, take the feedback. They're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it to hopefully make you succeed. And always be up for learning. You learn something new every day in life. Don't stop learning in pro wrestling. Never stop learning. But my hat's off to all you indie guys out there. I hope you make your way, and I hope you're making money on the indies and keep striving to get bigger and better. And with that being said, we're out of here. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
It's the 2020 and the golden one dropping wrestling talk. Wrestling adventure storytelling, no fake news here. Yo.